Hello, everyone. The Anthony S. You're not alone. The conversation today it stems from a talk I had with a future client or a client in the making right now. It involves our conversation in that I wanted to set expectations for what I was trying to do. Essentially, it came down to my goal for the amount of people, the amount of people I'm going to get in a room. It would cost me $8,000 to $10,000 for me to market to someone else in my old companies. I'm trying to do it in $1,000. I'm not going to talk about which company and none of these things, but the long and the short, it's going to be difficult. And I'm using some of that money would have went to building the landing pages and having someone do the content. I'm going to write the copy and the content, pick the words. There's someone else that's going to be doing the landing pages. So even then, it would have been like between $5,000 and $7,000 in marketing dollars, actually getting ads in front of individuals. Now, I think I can do it, in a tenth of the cost, or a fifth, or whatever. But even though I can do that, or think I can, I want to couch expectations correctly. I don't want a client to come back and say, well, you said you could do this for this. I want them to understand that, yes, I believe this can be done. But it used to cost this much. I'm thinking we can do it in this. I want you to be on the ride with me as I try to make this happen for you at this cost. Is that okay? And if they say okay at that point, which the person I'm talking to now understands very clearly the cost. They've done some marketing themselves. They get it. They just want someone to come in and do the copy so they don't have to. That's fine. And I think it's going to be a great deal in the long run. And because of that, it made it really easy for me. But there will be those individuals that don't understand and they expect it to be done. Why can't you just do this for $100? Or why can't you just do this? And yet, some of those individuals will go to a newspaper and spend $10,000 to put their ad in a newspaper, even though statistically we can prove that there's just not as much viewership as there used to be. And yet it almost costs more to get these ads now. Part and due because there's not as many newspapers, but also part and due because they're trying to hold on to this idea that that's the only way to market. Now, back to the expectations. You have to do this in all parts of life. Even when you're trying to increase the amount of hours you're putting into a job, or if you're quitting a job, or if you're starting a company, or if you're starting a hobby, getting in a relationship with a new individual, a deeper one than just friendship, and you're going to spend a lot of time with them, setting those expectations with others around you is almost required. You got to take the time to let people know so they're not side blinded by the fact that you're spending X amount more doing something else than being with them. It's not so much that you don't like them, and if you don't tell them, they'll assume that, because that's what we do. We assume the worst as humans. You're simply just trying to get something done, and that's fine, and they'll understand if you explain first. So I guess I'm saying communication couched in expectations, couched in reality of what's going on. A lot of couches, triple couch. And that's all. I just want to help you guys understand that that's something you need to do. You need to communicate, over-communicate if anything. You got to do it. You got to have those rough conversations, because if you don't, and you start doing things and people around you say, you've changed, well, yeah, you have changed, and you didn't explain yourself. And I don't mean to explain yourself in a way that you think you have to. I mean to do it to try to help them understand. If someone doesn't understand and they're just trying to tell you to, don't do that, you're never going to succeed, all right, let those people go. They really don't matter too much. But if you're trying to keep relationships alive and say, hey, mom, dad, boyfriend, girlfriend, significant other, I want to complete this right now. It's going to take a lot of my time. I'd really like your support in understanding that sometimes I won't be around. And if they're cool with that, it's much better than trying to do it, either keep everything going or do it and not tell them and kind of ghost them. There's always a good way to make different changes in your life or to make transitions. So I'd say work on that if you're going through something rough and you know you're going to have to spend more hours somewhere or doing something else. It's the Anthony S. You Aren't Alone. Hope you all doing well. I'll talk to you all soon.